Hello, this is the analysis of Nick 4 here. For this video, I'm just talking about sequels I want part 2. So, potential games that came out more than 5 years ago and sequels that I want to see. So, like, share, subscribe, guys. Let me know. Leave behind feedback like on the videos. I see now I am getting more comments per video. So, I thank you guys very much for commenting for feedback. Again, sequels I want, and this is kind of like a new series I started up. Check out my part 1, which came out yesterday, and as well gameplay. Like, I'm uploading gameplay heavily. Devil May Cry 5, Guardians of the Galaxy, Destroy All Humans 2 remake. So here we go. The first sequel like I want to see is Flowerhead on. Flowerhead on part. Oh, sorry about lighting. Flowerhead on part 2 would be amazing. Now, Flowerhead on, you had demolition derbies, you had races, you had laps, you had time trials. You had kind of like this Olympic type mode where it's cool. You're in this ejector seat. You have to drive down this ramp, and then you're in this ejector seat, and then it'll throw the driver through. Rings of fire, and there's like a poker I can play. It's really cool. It's very creative. Now, like a Flowerhead on part 2 would be cool, like with the modern graphics of today. Less motion blur, the frame rates, and everything about it, and lots of explosions are in this game where cars and crashes, and you get to see the sometimes I get to see the drivers, collapse out of the vehicle. It's really cool, but yeah, it's very fast paced. Like we need, I feel like we need like a fast paced type racing game like this now. Like on the PS5, Flowerhead on 2, man, that would definitely be worth it. And with the game modes, the vehicle classes, and yeah, very cool. Right beside it here is Metal Gear Rising. Metal Gear Rising, I talked a lot about this game before, so I'm not gonna talk much about it here. But basic, brief intro, like you're like a cyborg type soldier, samurai. You carry this samurai sword, and it's extremely powerful. It slices through like basically anything. It breaks down molecular structures of any type of metal or whatever. But like you're very OP, and you have bullet time as well. So your perception of time, you can slow down. It makes it easier for you to fight enemies. You're slicing through enemies. It's extremely gruesome. Now, not really bloody gruesome, but like you feel sorry after the enemies sometimes. But the main thing too, the boss fights are amazing, very large scale. Some of the best boss fights. Now, with a Metal Gear Rising Part 2, and this is Metal Gear Rising and Revengeance. A Metal Gear Rising Part 2 would be, we need like it'd be similar to like a Devil May Cry 5, except you always have the bullet time. You have the different types of bosses, and you're fighting robots as opposed to demons or other cyborgs as well. Now, seeing that now with the PS5 graphics and the animations in the game, the running, the fast pacedness, with better overall textures, like in the environment, I felt like an environment in this game didn't really look all that good because it's older, right? It's a PS3 generation, but yeah, with a PS5 sequel or whatever Xbox Series, whatever the new Xbox is, it would be amazing, or PC. Man, no, I know Kojima, the creators, right? Kojima split apart from Konami, so I think they're not really making Metal Gear games anymore. But a Metal Gear Rising Part 2, man, I would really love that. Right below it is, it's an unlikely sequel, I know, because it's a movie game. This one is kind of in an awkward, situation, but this game came out 17 years ago, 2005, so almost 20 years, and the gaming industry has changed so much since then. We no longer see movie games anymore. That doesn't happen anymore. Video games based on movies. Now, what I like about King Kong is the immersion. You play as Kong, and it really captured that gameplay mechanic very well. When you play as Kong and versus like when you play as Jack, it's two completely different games. Now you're obviously playing as Jack a lot more. You're in the jungle. It's like the movie from 2005, but it's in. I get to see more of the island. There's less characters. The dialogue is still very good. Now with a modern, if they were to remake this today, it'd be similar, kind of similar to a Last of Us and its pacing, where you're going through the jungles. There's swamps, jungles, grasslands, high up in the mountains. There's these scary ass caves you go in. But and as well, like when you're Kong, everything is smaller than you, most of the things, but it's still boss battles. And when you're Kong, it's a boss battles, find giant dinosaurs. And just seeing that now, with it'd be kind of like you being able to play as a Hulk in the Avengers 2020 game. It would be really cool, being able to play as Kong with these modern graphics, and the frame rate, and just the overall animations that you can do with Kong. In this one, you can swing. Kong does swings, he does bashes, he does like these headlocks, these cool ass moves, wrestling moves. And King Kong Part 2. I don't know. They could make up like a story. They could, obviously add a new dialogue, new actors, but you still keep the same Kong from that movie. And just a scene it come back. That would be amazing. In a video game format like this. So right beside is Ninja Gaiden 3 now. I believe that this is the last Ninja Gaiden game. I know they did remasters, but remasters were for the previous Ninja Gaidens. Remastered. Ninja Gaiden, what I really love about the Ninja Gaiden franchise is the fact that combos is fast paced, similar to Metal Gear Rising. They're very similar. It reminds me a lot of Metal Gear Rising, and whenever a game reminds me heavily of a game I liked, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. Now, there's it's basically hack and slash type nature to the game. You're fighting through 8 waves of enemies, you get to a boss, then you go on to the next level, the story. Ninja Gaiden 4, with these modern graphics, and you could add a lot more combos to it now. And as well, the mechanics are so much better now than they were in PS3 generation. The movements will feel so much smoother, and I feel like now we are lacking in in terms of video games, we are lacking in the hack and slash formula. We need more of these hack and slash type games. I know a recent one, Solstice, came out, but I heard that one kind of got mixed reviews, so I'm not sure. But Ninja Gaiden 4 today would be cool, amazing. Right above it is Red Faction Armageddon. There's one main reason why I'd love to see something like this come back. You had like this telekinetic repair ability, so you could repair any structure telekinetically, like with these, I don't know what it is, kind of like a stasis type system. So it rebuilds like any structure that's been damaged. So whether it be like a wall or a bridge or a building, you can basically repair that structure. And it had cool guns. You had basically a gun that could vaporize things, a gun that could, you had assault rifle. They felt very OP, but you will die. You will die easily if you're not careful. It's kind of like I kind of feel like with a Red Faction 2, you could add a lot more to it. In this game, I felt like they could have added. You could have utilized that ability more. And as well, with a Red Faction Part 2, you could give us more weapons. You could meet new characters, and you basically fight those horrifying necromorphs like in Dead Space in this third person. And it reminds me a lot of. It plays similar to Gears of War. This game, similar feel to it, the Gears of War, but space sci-fi. But a Red Faction. I don't know which one this is. I'm assuming this is the most recent one, Red Faction 3 or whatever. But a Red Faction. And I love THQ. They make some, back in the days, right? They make a lot of good games. So right beside it here, Sleeping Dogs. A very unique type of open world game. An open world basically takes place, in China. So I think of like, it's not like a level of GTA, but it's like more of like a very Ubisoft, like it has a Ubisoft feel to it, and with a bit of a Square, obviously heavy on Square Enix. Now, Sleeping Dogs is very unique in I like the driving. The fighting is what I like to go into. You train, you learn kung fu and all that, and you're like a undercover police. You know, trying to take down the triad gangs or whatever, and you get to work undercover with one gang, and yeah. But it's the open world is very. Although I could be better, certain things could be better, but I feel like a sequel I could with this game, you could add more. Bring us to like another city, add more vehicles or more, make the open world feel more alive. Um, Although like there is tons of shops you can go into, there is lots of restaurants and clubs in the game alone. So in this game, however, I feel like the gun selection was kind of limited. It was more guns, and obviously with improved graphics, so why not? It would be amazing. Now I know there's lots of open world games, so tons of open world games. But a Sleeping Dogs Part Two, why not? Right below it is a big game, one of my favorite games of all time, Witcher 3. Its dialogue and the lore, it's such an incredible like presentation, like the presentation of just the graphics, the overall I like the overall like dialogue is so well done, and the voice acting. And the open world feels very alive. Exploration, a medieval type fantasy, Viking type. Now, Witcher 4, I really want to see a Witcher 4 because, again, all those reasons, right? And like I want to see more of the story, more of where what happens to Ciri and what happens to all the Yennefer and Geralt. Do we meet more Witchers? Is there more scheming in these in these political structures and all that? So yeah, and you get to meet more factions. So yeah, I would Witcher 4. Witcher is like in some ways it's like a third person Skyrim but different. Well, with a Witcher 4 you could add, I bring back all those great things. Exploration, the customization, the looting, the tons of different crafting, and upgrade systems. It would be amazing to see that in a PS5 type game. But yeah, Witcher 4 I would love to see. I can't wait to see that game. If it ever comes out, I don't know. But so overall, what I sequel that I mostly want to see, Metal Gear Rising, which is unlikely gonna happen, or and Witcher 4. And keep in mind these are games like again older than 5 years old. So any game younger than or newer than 5 years is not gonna be on this. For example, Red Dead 2 or whichever game, Star Wars 4 and over. And we know a lot of the popular games are gonna get sequels. Like we know Call of Duty is gonna get a million sequels, or NBA 2K is gonna get lots of sequels and all that. So yeah, these are more for the rare type of games. So like, share, subscribe, guys. Thanks for watching.